Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode, this video, Awakening with Lily Rose. I am here and I just finished talking to my kids. I talk to my kids every week. We have a scheduled time, and we also can text and talk during the week too. Part of my journey has been to be a mom. So I became a mom 16 years ago, was a single mom for 10 of those years, and then my oldest just turned 16 the year that he went to live with his dad, and my kids went to live with their dad. And so for 15 years I was a full-time mom, and then for 10 of those years I was a single mom. And I didn't have any family around, and we were on a completely opposite coast from my family. And yeah, I was really doing it alone. I wasn't in a relationship, a partnership where someone was like helping me with my kids. It was really my own responsibility to show up for my kids, to do my life, to run my house, everything by myself. And we all come into this universe, into this world with our own unique path. Some of us, that is to be a parent. Some, it isn't. Some is to join the military and be deployed for long periods of time. Sometimes you get divorced and custody is, goes to the other parent or to you. Whatever the case is, the point is that we all have our own unique path, and it's not necessarily what society is telling us is our path. And as parents, we have a lot of programming about what it means to be a good parent and pressure to show up a certain way and to live our life a certain way while our kids are young. And I just want to pose the question to get you thinking, is this right for you, or is this the way society has told you you're supposed to live? Because there may be a different truth. Maybe you want to get divorced and you're not happy together and you can't make things work, but you choose not to for the kids, quote unquote. Staying in the same house for the sake of stability, quote unquote. And all these things that society looks at as how to be a responsible parent. And I just want to pose the question, what if there is a different path that is meant for you and your kids? What if living in different places is actually what you are meant to do and the experience that your kids are meant to have because you are called to it? And you wouldn't be called to it in a deep soul calling if it wasn't part of your family's life experience that you're meant to have here. See, it's a different way of looking at life and how to show up in life. It's looking at everything as there is a program that we have internalized, that we have really just accepted about how we're supposed to live. But our souls inside, deep inside, have a path that will bring us the most fulfillment that comes with getting out of our comfort zone and deviating from the societal programming that we have been conditioned with. And that is a path that takes courage. It's the road less traveled. It's sometimes you're paving your own path. You don't know what it looks like because no one has walked it before you, and you're actually walking your own path. You're going through the forest, maybe with your kids, maybe by yourself, and you have a machete and you're cutting down the overgrown, ivy, and you're going through and you're creating your own path. And it's scary because you don't know what you're going to find in your next step. There may be a giant snake. There may be, a panther around the corner. You don't know what's there, but there's something inside you that is telling you this is the way you're meant to go because this is the path that your soul will be the most fulfilled. This is why you're here. And the amazing thing is that when we follow this path and carve our own path, follow internal callings, the doors open. The right experiences come in. There may be challenging times, but they are all going to be for your benefit and it's all going to help you. And it's a different kind of energy than following someone else's path. Maybe it looks like hundreds and thousands of people have walked this one path and it's a paved road and it's easy and everyone's saying, come on, this is the way. And you start walking it and you start to lose your life force energy. You start to feel drained. You start to feel disconnected from yourself. And you're like looking around, you guys, like, is this really it? Like, is this really the way? And everyone's like, yeah, yeah, see, look, everyone is here. Your whole family's here, all your friends, like, your culture, like whatever it is, we're all here on this path, so it must be the way. And you're like, oh, okay. So then you just keep walking this path and you're like, wait, this is not feeling good. I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling anxious. I'm like, where is the, you know, life force? Where is the excitement? Where is the thing that I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling as a human being? And I'm just in the middle of on this paved road, surrounded by all these people, just living this life in this one way. So then you may decide to get off that path and you may make a choice to start paving your own and letting your soul lead you. And when you follow the path that's coming from within, something really magical happens. You discover that there's so much more to life than what you previously understood on that path with all the people. That this is actually a hero's journey. You're here to expand yourself, to grow, to experience challenge. And that is actually what helps you to get stronger and to create the most fulfilling life possible. And so a lot of people are afraid to get off the path that everyone's on and pave their own because it's so unknown. They don't know what's there and they will constantly doubt themselves as they're like going through the jungle by themselves. Like, what the heck did I do? Like, this is not a safe place. And they start to look at their surroundings like, oh my gosh, like where's the safety? Where's the comfort of home? Where's all the people? You may be on a path by yourself in the middle of the jungle for a time by yourself without anyone. But then you suddenly hear voices and you realize that someone else is on a path and it's actually converging with yours. They're merging together and you realize that you were on your own path and you suddenly found each other at this intersection. And now it's time to go together for a little bit of time. And so you start realizing that, oh, this is so much more awesome. And it's easier even just to, support each other through this. Yeah, we're going into the unknown, but we're here for each other. We're here to give each other love, support. We're here to help each other, to cut away the weeds and just create this new life. And oh my gosh, maybe we want to create something beautiful. Maybe we want to go onto a mountaintop and create a village there. Maybe we want to go into the trees, into a tree house and create something. right? There's so many different possibilities now when you're creating with another people. Your energy, the synergy together is inspiring something in you. And you both been on a path where you've gone through a lot of darkness in the jungle by yourself, and you were committed to following your own path, knowing that there's something inside you that's guiding you. And when you find another person who has also been through the darkness and has continued to have faith in that thing that is lighting them up from within, and they know this is the way, and they just trust, even though they can't see if they're ever going to find anyone that feels the same. They may feel like they're going to be alone their whole lives, but they're still on the path because they know it's worth it because there's no other option. They can't go back to what society has created because they do not feel that that is right for them. And so they're just committed. And then you find other people and you get to create the most beautiful, beautiful creations and life visions put together and have adventures now. And if you did not get off the path that you were on, the path that everyone's on, that's everyone's telling you to take, you never would have met these people that have also been through their challenges and they have grown in so many ways, ways that the people on the safe path are not growing. And now you are able to connect with someone who's been through their own dark night of the soul and has had the courage and the faith to keep going. This intelligence, those relationships are the most expansive and exciting. You never would have had them if you stayed on the path. You also never would have got to a point where you realize what some of your skills are and your gifts because you never had the opportunity to be with yourself to explore what those are. And so, as I am walking the path of getting off of the road that everyone was telling me I'm supposed to be on and following something within me that awakened, a whisper saying, there's a different path for you. And even though my mind was freaking out, choosing to follow my truth, even though I couldn't see the final destination, even though I didn't know what the path would look like, all I knew was that I was getting off the paved road with all the people and I was going into the jungle where I had no idea what I was going to find, and it was dark and scary. And I just knew that there was some light that was guiding the way and that I would be okay. And as I do this and continue to say yes to what my soul is calling me towards, the right people come in and I have experiences that are bringing me new levels of fulfillment, but also new levels of experience, like experiencing life in a different way, experiencing life in a state of presence, awareness, no longer being in my head worrying, but just being open to what is here in my path. What is this? What are the people that are coming in? What is it, the material that I have to work with? What are the challenges? Being curious about them. You know, it's like being in the jungle and you're like, okay, like what are the materials I have to work with here? Okay, I have a machete. Okay, I can use that. Okay, I have a spray bottle. I can spray water on my face if I'm hot, or like some random tools that you have. And then you're like, all right, cool. This is what I have to work with. Oh, there's a snake. Okay, now I have to learn how to deal with a snake in my path. So I just learned new skills through that experience. Cool. And then you're like, oh, there's a panther. Now, Now I get to learn how to climb a tree or like whatever it is, right? Hide or maybe like have some kind of a disappearing act. You learn a new skill to deal with the challenge. So it's actually kind of fun now. It's almost like a game. Even the challenges don't feel so scary because you realize that you are actually in a video game and you are being given the exact experiences that your soul pre-planned because it wanted to grow and learn certain lessons and have a certain experience. And the only thing you need to do is keep following the expansiveness, the light, the thing that is helping you to grow and learn and getting out of your comfort zone. Even if you have fear, recognizing fear is always there to protect us, right? But when we know that there is something higher guiding us, we don't have to stay where we are just because we're afraid of the unknown. We can actually move forward with the mindset and the new belief that I'm being guided to that which is meant for me, to that which is here to help me expand. So I am going to be okay. I don't need to be living in fear and hiding and worrying and being in a state of anxiety. When you realize what fear does to your body and your nervous system and your energy, you realize that you actually don't need to stay there, that we can actually navigate life with a sense of peace and with a sense of trust that as we take our next steps, the universe will give us exactly what we need to keep going. And so this is a way of being and moving through life where we are in acceptance of what is, accepting the reality. Okay, this is here. Thank you. This is obviously for my highest good. And tuning into your vision of what's coming from within you, from a place of wholeness, not from a place of lack and fear of, oh, I want to live protected so I don't have to face any of the wild animals. No, it's coming from a place of I am whole, I am I am safe, I am a part of the universe, I'm protected, and what would I create if that were the reality? And as we live from that place, that's where we can grow and we can create our dreams. We can see things come to fruition. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to face our fears. And as we do, you realize that it's actually not as scary as you thought it was because the doors are opening, you are protected. You literally just have to follow what your soul is calling you towards, that place of expansiveness, and the doors open and everything actually flows. And you come into alignment with the life you're meant to live. Now, some people think, what if I'm not meant to live a life of abundance? What if I'm meant to live a life of poverty? What if that's why my soul came here? So this is how I see it now, because I used to have that same question. And this is how I see. So every one of us has the potential to be like the creator, like the universe, like the divine intelligence. We have the opportunity to live in alignment with peace, love, joy, bliss, expansion, abundance. And our journey is meant to help us to open up to that. And when we are not seeing that in our lives, when we're feeling fear, when we're feeling lack, when we look around and we're like, oh no, where's the money? Oh no, why don't I have a relationship? Why don't I have a good job? It's to help us to let go of needing these things to feel whole. And so the universe, God, the divine intelligence is helping us to remember who we are by taking away the things we think we need so that we can come back to that state of pure wholeness, pure abundance, creativity, bliss, love, peace. That's our natural state. And anytime we don't feel that, it's just the universe is helping us to really feel it even more through the contrast. And it's all an opportunity. It's an opportunity to go, okay, this is happening in my life. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm not going to feel bad about myself. I'm not going to think, oh no, I'm not spiritual and like compare myself to other people. That just takes you further away from yourself. It's a trap. But instead, when something challenging is happening, always ask, how is this helping me to come back into the truth of who I am, to feel the wholeness of my being? When we think we need something and we're saying, no, I need this. Oh, I need my ex to do this and this, and I need my kids to do this and this, right? No, you don't. You are whole no matter what anyone else is doing around you. And all of these experiences are helping you come back to the truth of who you are. And as you do, and you take these opportunities, instead of feeling like the victim and falling into a vibration of fear, anger, right? Victim, like you're depressed, you're anxious, all of those feelings. Now you are actually using the opportunity to feel your true self on an even deeper level. And that true self is, I don't need anything to be whole. I am whole as I am. I am a divine, perfect being here having an earthly experience. Sometimes things are taken from me, but I am still a divine being. And so we are actually, all of these things are actually for our benefit. It's the universe in the most compassionate, loving way saying, look, this is who you are. Let's remember who you are. I'm going to take this away. So now you have the opportunity to come back to the truth. And we'll do it until you get the lesson, until you realize victim, that the state of being, of like being in a victim mentality and an energy is not helping anything. It just makes life get more, just worse and worse. You keep seeing more of that, and you keep feeling like the world is against you and life is hard. You develop that belief system, and then you just get more of that. So we are constantly getting and mirroring what's inside us. So everything external is a reflection of our current state of being, our energy. So we get to choose our energy. Even though we are limitless beings, we're here on earth and we're choosing, are we going to go into a state of depression and fear and anxiety and feeling like everything's horrible and focus on that mentally? And then that makes our body feel horrible inside and that affects our cells. And then we start to get sick because we're not healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Or are we going to use the challenges as opportunities to remind ourselves that we are whole and complete and beautiful beings of light, no matter what's happening around us. And so just I want to share that as you go through your journey for those who are on the path, going into the jungle on their own, creating a new life for themselves. Everything is here to help you, to remind you of who you are. And that's where the peace comes from. That's where the inner peace comes from. That's where the certainty beyond logic comes from. It's certainty, not that things are going to happen the way you think they should, but it's certainty that there is a higher path that once you align your energy to and you accept and you say yes to it and you follow it, everything gets better. You increase in your ability to hold light. You start to see yourself and those around you from a higher perspective. You have more love and compassion. You have a perspective that helps you get through challenges where it doesn't knock you down anymore. It actually expands you, it lifts you up because that's the whole purpose of the challenge to begin with. And then the more you follow what lights you up because you truly know that you are here to be the light and that your light is here to feel good and expressed and to radiate love and to feel peace, you start to attract experiences that reflect that to you. It all starts internal. We have to decide to have certainty beyond logic, to trust that we are being guided by our inner wisdom, which is connected to something greater. It's the self-trust, self-loyalty, saying, I'm going to be loyal to what I feel is true, which is also God loyalty, because we are connected to the divine. When you start following this path inside you, even though people may not understand your path and it may not look like the what you were taught, you feel an inner knowing and you're following this on pure faith that that's the path that's meant for you. And then you start meeting the right people and you start having these expansive experiences, all because you are now a person who operates from a higher consciousness because you are now following something that no one else can see and no one can validate for you. You are learning how to trust your own path. Getting out of the ego and feeling like a victim and all of that and fear. You are now learning to get into wholeness and act from a place of wholeness in everything you do, knowing that you don't need anything. You are simply here to be like the light, to be like the creator, to be aligned with the divinity within you, where magic happens because creators create and miracles happen, synchronicities happen. It may start to feel a little weird because you start to see that life is not what you thought it was. It's not the conditioning that you were programmed to believe of how you must live your life. You have an inner knowing that is guiding you. And the minute you start listening to it, the minute you start attracting what is meant for you, and what is meant for you is to align with expansive, creative, abundant energy, because that is who you are in your core. And so that's what I want to share today. I hope everyone has a beautiful evening and trust yourself. It's safe to trust yourself. Life will get much better when you start trusting yourself. Have a good night.